You finished talking to Steve now, yeah? Or you want to talk to me or you don't want to talk to me? I'm only joking. You know it's only a friendly, right? Okay, just so to remind you, right?
No, it is, alright.
Okay, we're all set. All right, we have with us a head coach, no stranger to anyone here, Dwight York. We open the floor to questions right away by a show of hands and identify your media house. Thank you. First question for Dwight.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just the second one while I said something.
You're still setting up.
Dwight, I mean, look,
Go ahead.
You're with the team now, preparing for the World Cup. What did you see there today with the team?
Well, I've seen a game of two halves in many respects. Wasn't particularly great first half. A little bit lackadaisical at times in terms of the approach. We changed the system slightly, so again, having a few days to prepare for the game. Don't use it as particular an excuse, but you can see with a couple of new personnel as well, we struggle early parts of the game. But certainly once we get ourselves back into the game and got a foothold into the game, you can see that what we were trying to do, certainly first half didn't materialize as I thought it may have done, but we made a little bit of a change in the second half and the players seem to have got it much more. So, yeah, as I said, a game of two halves where we wasn't particularly great first half, but second half we certainly show what Trinidad Tobago can do and play at a certain intensity, then we become a different team to look at.
And just one other, sorry, the Unity Cup, the whole concept of the Unity Cup, my last question. What about that, please?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good. It's a good concept. I don't think we would have ever meet any African nation teams had not been for the Unity unless you're playing in major competition. So to have that here in London, it's you can see it's been well supported. You know, the two countries come out in their numbers and support their countries. It's not happening this part of the world very often. So we're delighted to be part of it. Of course, the results is a little bit disappointed for us, but it shows that the Unity Cup hopefully will be something that will take us forward, going forward.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Right, on the day, what did you think your team lacked, and what do you think they must work on going forward if they are put in such a situation again?
Yeah, I think that we're still a team that we're growing and continue to build. As I said, even though it's been 6 months, what I do believe in the team is that we're a little bit young, and these kind of tournaments is not something that we are very familiar with. And so we continue to grow. As much as we are disappointed, just give them a good understanding at the level. If you're going to perform against good teams, we can't afford to give them a head start like we did, conceding 2 penalties. When you think about it, it's just the inexperience, and this is why the Unity Cup will be such a great competition. So some of these young players who haven't been at this level will get the opportunity to then hopefully improve as we progress.
Yep. Further questions for Dwight? Yeah.
Considering you had a second string squad, you had a lot of players who were fighting to get into your Gold Cup plans, so you didn't have any time to prepare for the match. You have to be pleased with the way that they fought back from 2 goals down to really try to get into your plans and show you that they're playing for you.
Yeah, and I said that in the dressing room to the players. I think that, as I said, it's a game of two halves, even though I didn't felt we played particularly great first half. But certainly what I can take the positive, and there are positive in that defeat, as you mentioned, it's the fact that we are showing the character. You get, see players, the willingness to get back in it. It's something that we addressed, we spoke about, that, being a reactive team rather than a proactive team. We tend to give teams head starts, certainly in my time and certainly now looking at it. And I've said to them inside, we can't afford to give good teams the head start and then decide to chase them down in the second half. And we did that, and that's very encouraging. But we've got to be able to manage team in a much more sensible way and not give away silly goals. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot on many occasions. Yeah, Jamaica is obviously a good team, but like any other good team, you can't give them a good start. And so we gifted them a couple of goals tonight, in my opinion. But I felt in terms of what my team shows, there is character in there. They show that willingness to fight all the way back. And of course, in the manner that we lost, there's a lot of disappointment in that dressing room. But also, for us, it's a learning thing. It's something that we continue to build. You mentioned about the various players not here. It's the same for Jamaica in many respects. So I think I should identify that, and it's not an excuse for us. But we are looking to build. The bigger picture is obviously the World Cup campaign, and then going into the Gold Cup stage. There's a lot of positive in that dressing room, despite the defeat tonight.
Obviously, everybody knows you're winners at club level. You took Trinidad and Tobago to the World Cup in 2006. And you get the sense, looking at the way that the players are playing, is that there's a level that they've stepped up to because they've obviously decided to meet your standard. Do you feel that they're meeting it at the moment?
Oh no, absolutely. I'm delighted in the 6 months that I've taken over the job from when I first stepped in. The progress that we have made and what we have managed to build on from what the previous manager has done. I think you can see that the team is progressing nicely. There's still a lot of hard work in there to be done. There's no two ways about that. I feel confident. I feel that the team is buying into the whole idea, my playing philosophy. I think that is a key part of why you see the improvement in the team going forward. And we continue to build. I still do believe when everyone comes together and we get the pieces together, we become a team that can compete at the highest level. And we're showing that resilience tonight, particularly in the second half. And I think that Trinidad and Tobago now are assembling a team that can compete in that format. And any teams that we come up against, they're looking over their shoulders, thinking that whereas in the past we used to be a little bit of a soft touch, I want to change those mentality and flip it around, that they're in for a very tough game every time they play for Trinidad and Tobago.
We have one more question. Good. Any further? Yeah, all right, at the back, go ahead.
Couldn't hear you there. Can you speak up a bit, Tex?
Moving forward from the observer.
Cool.
I'm just we're curious as to basically, you said that you changed some stuff like sort of around half-time, and you sort of spoke about being more proactive. Is that something you said to your players at half-time to kind of change it?
Yeah, a little bit, just a little tweak here and there. We felt like the fullbacks was a little too high earlier on, which then narrowing the spaces to our wide players. They were a little bit too advanced. They needed to stay a little bit flatter so that when you come flat, when you're playing in the back four, you need your fullbacks to kind of be slightly ahead, but not as far ahead as we were in the first half. So once we tweak that, then the space then open up. Then you can see the space, then you can then play a better passing. But if you go with your fullbacks being really high, it's all well and good because we usually play in a 3 at the back, where you can push the fullbacks a little bit forward. Our fullback in the first half was getting ahead a little bit too early, and that create the space, or lack of space, so to speak. So once we tweak that, and you will see that in the second half, we'll look a much more competent team in terms of completion of the pass, in terms of taking control. And when you give players space to play in, then they take the ball in a much better positive way. And you could see that clearly. Once we did that, then we caused Jamaica so much problem. And I'm sure a lot of people who genuinely looked at that game could have gone either way. And unfortunately for us, we conceded at the very death. But it's one of those games that we will learn from. The defeat is hard to take. The players are disappointed in there, but ultimately this is still a built-in stage for us, and we will only get better from it.
Good.
And just a final one from me. Just sort of curious, looking forward to Saturday. Is there a particular opponent that you're?
No, we want to make sure and finish on a high. We got other campaigns to look forward to after this game. We want to make sure and not come away here without a victory. So whoever we got, we know the other game will be played tomorrow. We know what we got. Then we will know exactly who we're coming up against. We'll be prepared like we always prepare for every team. But we certainly want to build momentum here going in. We don't want to get another defeat going into the campaign. We want to get building momentum because we've been on a sort of a real positive note. So I said to the players, let's pick ourselves up, dust down tonight, think about it, get over it tomorrow, we start again, and then we look forward to the game at the weekend.
All right. Thank you very much, Dwight. Thank you.
All right.
See you guys on
Ta-ra.
Saturday.